Hello and welcome to Pagan Wanderings. It's us again, here in Wiltshire, and we're exploring some mysterious sites that you might not have encountered before, you might have heard of, or heard of even in a song. So behind me, with the setting spring sun, if you can see it with the sun in your eyes, is the infamous Silbury Hill, a very mysterious part of the Wiltshire landscape. You can't climb up it, that's not approved of, and so we have to wander from the ground. What was it all about? It's a beautiful day here in Wiltshire. We are having the most amazing spring morning, and we're going to take you to visit one of our other favourite sites, West Kennet Long Barrow. If you look across to the top of that brow of the hill, where those people are walking down, you'll see a shape on the horizon, and that's where we're going now. We're going to show you one of our favourite places. Unfortunately, between us and West Kennet Long Barrow is a very busy A4, but this is where we're going to show you a good place to stop and park. So we're going to the entrance to West Kennet Long Barrow. We'll drop in the commentary the what three words location for the lay-by. And as you can see, the A4 is quite a busy road, bit of a racetrack. There is a sign here for the parking, so this is where you can park. You don't need to pay to park here, but it can be quite limited on a busy day. And here we are going down through the footpath sign. This is also part of the White Horse Trail. Obviously, observe the countryside code. Dogs need to be kept on a lead when there's livestock around, and all gates need to be left as found, which is normally closed. And here we are going down to part of the interpretation of West Kennet.
This is part of the Avebury landscape. As you can see, Windmill Hill, Avebury Henge, Silbury Hill, the avenue, the sanctuary, which we'll do later, and the Long Barrow, which we're going to walk up to now.
You could also take some photographs of these QR codes, because you could put them on the... This got a 3D map of Avebury and the farm, so that's interesting. What's that? Someone's hotel card.
DJI off. DJI stop recording. DJI stop recording.
Just wanted to point out to you something that's a little bit unusual in the Wiltshire landscape. These sarsen stones, exactly the same stone as you find for the Avebury stones and parts of Stonehenge, are used for all purposes here, and as you can see, has been used by a farmer to be stuck in the ground to hang a gate on many years ago. Now it's just another feature of the landscape here, which makes it so unique. You're not going to see this many other places but Wiltshire. And here we go past a tree that has had clouties on it, but people have taken them down, and it's a really mysterious tree when you can see right through, underneath, through the root complex and out to the other side. Now we're walking down to the springs, the White Springs, which are considered to be healing and mystical. And at certain times of the year, this whole area is flooded. And if you're thinking of visiting during the wet season, you may want to bring some wellies, or just be prepared to take your shoes off and paddle through. As you can see on this fence line, you can see where debris that's been carried along by the river has been caught. So you can see the height of that compared to Oh, it's very wet still compared to my leg. So the height, it would have been to my knees easily. It's still incredibly soggy.
Further over at the far end of that spring, or that river, shall I say, there is the White Spring, which is a spring that rises and feeds this stream.
As you can see on this tree, there have been some ribbons tied. These should be fully biodegradable. They're a little bit like Tibetan prayer flags, where people believe that their wishes and their prayers or their memories of loved ones will be blown in the wind and be empowered by being part of this tree. But they are very controversial, as people do not understand that they need to be fully biodegradable and not provide any litter in the landscape. And here we are, nearly there. Not too far. It's a gentle uphill pull. And there she is, the most magnificent Long Barrow. And we're very fortunate that it's not been fenced off. It's not been made something you need to pay to see. It's as it was built, with a few collapses, and is free. What a wonderful place this is to visit. We always feel hugely privileged to have this in our back doorstep. On the horizon, you can see a small indent on the eye line, and that up there is part of the Wansdyke path, which we will tell you more about in another video. For now, let's explore West Kennet Long Barrow.
West Kennet and Avebury was what started my interest in history over 50 years ago, when I was lucky enough to come here on a school trip. Lucky enough because my school was within 50 miles of here, so as a consequence we had a few days out at Stonehenge and Avebury. Great fun back then. Amazing stones. There is another interpretation here, which I will show you. Tells you more about the construction of the Long Barrow and how it looked, and how when the excavations were done back in the 18th century and 19th century, what they actually found. This Long Barrow was constructed between 3500 BC and 3700 BC, and they reckon it was used for another 1,000 years. And still, a lot of people come to visit, but a lot of pagans come here to pay their respects and have small ceremonies. Although, again, some of them abuse it by leaving rubbish, etc. within the chamber.
So now we're going to go into the Long Barrow. Fantastic. We're going to turn into night mode, as it will be dark in there, but let's go and see what's in there. It's a well-trodden path.
The dogs love having a look in here as well.
Instantly a sense of peace. And here we are, just at the entrance to the Long Barrow. And as you can see, people have come here and made offerings. This is obviously from today, some dandelion heads made into like a bracelet. It's been left here. Other people have left coins. Some people have left rose petals. There is a smell of incense in here at the moment, so I wouldn't be surprised to find something that's been burnt. But as you can see, the roof of the Long Barrow is magnificent. And these chambers here, although empty, were excavated and contained the bones of people of various ages, laid in a very ceremonial way. I'm just going to put my torch on here to show you what it's like inside. Distinct chambers, which would have been used for we don't know what, with a very clear stone in the middle of that one. And you can see that people have been in here today and have laid offerings in the shape of petals, which will rot down, but are still by some considered to be littering. And there are flowers here as well. This wall is where the chamber has been opened up to. There is much more of the Long Barrow beyond this that has not been opened or excavated, and it's unlikely that it will be. As I said before, it's a huge privilege to be able to be here in this sacred space amongst these stones, moved here by our Neolithic ancestors so many thousands of years ago. It's actually quite pleasing to come in here and not find the remnants of tea lights and other debris. As you can see, the stones have really been very well worn by visitors over the years, and there is no problem with you coming here and feeling that energy by stroking these stones. Just don't leave any litter. We really would love you to come and visit this Long Barrow at some stage, and if you can't, you can continue to follow us. This is an area that people have rubbed continually and made smooth. As you can see, the English heritage have made a very handy path. I'm sure this wasn't built by our Neolithic ancestors, and has put some very thoughtfully some little skylights in here, to help provide light inside the barrow. They're not very effective, but there you go. And now we can go for a walk in the setting sun along the length of the barrow. As you can see, some of it's collapsed, and the part that we've explored is probably about 20% of the entire barrow.